Good afternoon, everyone. I have seen a lot of good afternoons and very enthusiastic crowd I am observing. Right. See, guys, let me just, before welcome you also, let me just try to tell you about what we are going to do, a very short picture. This would be a kind of a hands-on session where I will be taking you through how to build a targeted resume. We all have a little bit idea about resumes, what resumes are all about, what are the applications, or why it is used for. First of all, you should understand. So I hope you have a little bit idea. So how we are going to deal with this whole session? I'm going to tell you a little bit about the resume in the first half of the section, and then I'm going to take your questions also during the. I have divided two sessions. Like the first session, I'm going to take the initial question and answers, and in second question and answer session, which will be at the end of the session, there I'm going to answer the rest of your question. It could be like during the session you might get intrigued and you may be forced to ask certain questions. So I have divided this question and answer session into two phases. So keep your questions reserved, use the chat box during the question answer sessions, interact with me through the chat box. Okay. And during those question answer sessions we will be interacting. I will be taking up your questions and we'll try to solve most of them, right? So with this, let us just try to start this session. I would like to welcome all the participants, all the students, all the candidates who have taken out their time to participate in this session today. The title of the session we have chosen very carefully. It is Resume Mastery, Building the Targeted Resume. Now, targeted resume gets very important whenever we are applying for any kind of jobs. And that I will be explaining in this particular session also. Let us start. I hope I'm clearly audible to all of you. Give me a yes if you are able to listen to me very properly. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. I understand that you people are able to hear me. So what we are going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that we can have our session start. Just a second. All right. So we'll start with the resume mastery thing. Okay. And how to start it? Let me just put a question in front of all of you. We are talking about here the career readiness or the job readiness here, right? So when we talk about career readiness, job readiness, we should also be have a little idea about the career cycle. So when we talk about career cycle, you know that career cycle starts with when you get enrolled into some institute in your favorite course or whatever course you desire to complete. You complete that degree, and then you get onboarded with your employment opportunity or employment, right? But when you have completed the degree and into your employment, so what important things? Okay, is my video properly visible to all of you? Is the PPT properly visible to all of you? Right. Thank you, guys. So we were talking about that we are trying to complete the career cycle. So for a career cycle, after completing the degree and onboarding the career with your desirable employment opportunity, we need to do a lot of activity between these two things. Right? There are a lot of things you do. There are a lot of activities which you have to perform in order to after completing the degree and getting onboarded with a career. right? So what are those activities? If I try to make a list of all those activities could be, you may need to list out the employers who are hiring in your particular domain, in your particular area. After listing out all the favorable employers as per your requirement, you will search for their openings and then you will apply for their openings. Okay, and after the openings, if your profile is impressive enough, they may call you for interview. You may appear for an interview, you may appear for the recruitment process, right? But in order to do all of these things, in order to list, and after listing, applying, and for appearing in an interview, you should have certain things ready for yourself to present yourself, because you will be presenting yourself as a brand. That brand a company can use, right? So what all things are required to perform all of these activities is, you need to build a profile for yourself. Now, those profiles could be of different manner. You can build your profile in different manner. You can write a effective resume for yourself. Now we are into a digital era where you can have your digital profiles ready. Digital profiles, like you can have your LinkedIn profile ready, which is highly rated by the employers. And then you can have different project portfolios also ready. The people who are in the web development or in other kind of IT related jobs, they nowadays keep their portfolios ready, portfolio of the project. They have GitHub profile or some other profiles where they put their projects, where they put their work, so that any employer can can evaluate them, their work also, right? So we need to build a profile before actually applying for a job. And while also you have applied for a job, the resume will reach out to you. Before reaching out to you, they will check your resume, they will check your profile, how effective is your profile. So these things must be very important. These are the very important thing. These are the must have for a candidate, for a job seeker to have in hand before starting to go for a job interview. So that is why we are talking about the very first aspect of building a profile, resume building. Maybe in the next aspect, maybe in the next workshop in future, we are also going to talk about your profile building in terms of LinkedIn profile or portfolio profiles, right? So here we will start with resume building in this particular session. And why resume building is very important, because there are certain grim facts about job application. It is not easy nowadays. You may also feel it, that it takes a lot of effort to have a job application or to be shortlisted for a job. There are certain data which is shared by US Bureau of Labor Statistics. I have taken this data from there. You can see how many application or what is the probability of receiving a job offer. Suppose here in this graph, you can see if you send about 1 to 10 applications. So your probability of getting a job is just 27%. And in order to get this probability of your job offer from 27 to 30%, you need to share at least, or you need to apply for at least more than 21 application, right? So this is how your probability of receiving a job offer varies, and you can understand that how much effort need to be put to send these many applications, right? So when you are sending an application, you are sending your profile also along with. So your profile must be effective enough. It should be as per the current trends, current requirement enough, so that even even in a lesser job application, you are going to get, your probability of getting the job offer should be highest, right? How you can do that? By having a effective or impactful resume. I'm again and again repeating effective and impactful resume. Why? What does it mean actually that we are coming to this point? See, we are living in a world of automation nowadays. People are trying to reduce their manual work as low as possible. They are trying to go towards automation as maximum as possible. And even in the field of hiring and recruitment, these things are taking place. Even you can see big companies or companies who are, who are opening their jobs, or who are opening the position for which they are looking to hire. Even the candidates are sending resumes in thousands or lakhs sometimes. So those resumes, those profiles to be studied or to be tracked by the company people itself gets difficult. So initial screening, now companies have employed softwares for that, for initial screening of the candidates or the resumes which have been sent to them. These things or these softwares are, in short, these are called as ATS in short, which is long form of application tracking system, ATS. Now, these ATS are programmed in such a way that whatever job description a company has posted, this ATS will look for all those keywords into that particular uh, applicant also. Suppose the applicant had sent a resume, so ATS will quickly track for all the keywords which is there in the job description, whether those keywords are matching with the applicant resumes or applicant profile. So in if your profile or if your resume is not as per the job description posted by the employer, there is a high probability that your resume will not be shortlisted for further round. Your resume will be weeded out of the system by these softwares itself, right? So this is how the automation has, has been affecting the industry or affecting the job taking process. I'm getting a lot of chat messages. Let me just try to see what is happening. Students, this is a very polite request. Please reserve your questions during the question and answer session. I would be inviting questions during the question and answer session. So please reserve your chats till then, right? Let me just complete one phase. We will take your questions till then, right? Okay. So as you are now you have a picture that application tracking system, the softwares who are automating the selection process or the evaluation process, screening process of the candidate. It is important that your resume must stand out. And for your resume to be stand out, your resume should be according to what a ATS software is looking for in a candidate. Now, software is programmed. Software is programmed. That is a particular set of logic being fed to that software. We need to understand what logic is there and how we can make make our resume as compatible, as relevant to the logic which is working at the back end of the software, ATS software. There are only two things we can do for standing out a resume. We can make a resume as powerful as possible. Now, when I say powerful, that means you should have all the relevance aspect which is being looked by the employer in the resume itself. You can fit in, if you can fit in maximum, not all, if maximum, then your resume will be powerful. And your resume must contain the keywords, because the logic behind all the ATS system is they will scan your resume with and compare it with the job description, whether your resume contains all the critical keywords they are looking to hire in a person. Fine. So if you are able to manage these two things in your resume, it is very easy for a resume to stand out and to be selected at the very first phase of the screening process. Now, when we are talking about, we need to make our resume stand out. And for standing out, we need to make our resume to be powerful. Now, when I say powerful, powerful means the resume must contain the core skills which are being looked by the employer, and that those skills must be acquired, must be possessed by the candidate also. Because these core skills are similar to the wheels of a car. You can understand the analogy. A wheel of a car takes the car from one position to another position. Similarly, your resume, your core skills in your resume will take your application, will take your profile from first round to the second round. Fine. So these core skills will help you to move your application from one process to another process. And as I was telling you that there are a lot of applications received by the companies whenever they are hiring. So people who are looking, suppose if your resume, even if it is passed by the ATS, people who will be looking after screening your resume, they don't have a lot of time. They don't put a lot of time in, studying your resume. They as a average, we have found in the labor market expert, they usually spend up to maximum up to 6 seconds to scan your resume, because they are so habitual of seeing resume that they have developed a eye scanning techniques where they will look out all the critical areas of the resume. What are the critical areas? I have tried to highlight the critical areas. So they will quickly go through these critical areas of the resume. Now, as an applicant, what we should do, we should put our core skills in these critical areas so that your resume will itself shout out that, yes, I have those skills which you are looking for. Fine. So within those 6 seconds, your resume will be shouting your name that please select me. I have all those, probably all the skills which you have listed out and what you are expecting also. Right. So that is why it becomes very critical, very important to have your core skills aligned with the job description, and it should be placed in all the critical areas of your resume. Resume is a piece of paper where we can divide that piece of paper into different critical areas. So you should put all those relevant core skills in these critical areas. Now, how to do that? We have certain activities list out. So we'll see how to, first of all, we'll see how to, make a list of the core skills which are relevant to the company, and then how to put them in your resume. That we will try to learn through the activities. right? So we have these core skills. We need to fit them into the critical areas, right? Let us take an example also. Let's take this example of a Harry. This is a guy who is trying to looking for a web developer role. Now, since Harry is trying to look a web developer role, as like all of us, he went to online job portals. He tried to search for jobs which are open for web developer role. Then what he did is he looked to one of the job description posted by one of the companies. Now, how does that job description may look like? You see, that job description may look like this. I hope all of us we are familiar with job description. If not, I will be giving certain examples here also for a job description. Generally, we are also posting a lot of job description nowadays on our announcement system. So you might be aware about job description, how do they look like, and what are the important parameters of a job description, right? Just a second. So in a job description, at the very beginning, there will be a slide of a introduction of the company, that this is the company is all about. These are the values of the company. These are the mission vision of the companies in some kind of languages. It will be floated in the within the job description also. And later on, it will be talking about the job description will be talking about the role, which this job description is being posted or is created, right? So within this job description, we can highlight or we can figure out what are the important things asked in the job description. What are the technical things? What are the non-technical things which has been asked in this particular job description? So once you're able to analyze the job description properly, you can make a list that what are the skills which has been asked through this job description. For example, we have highlighted certain parts of the job description, and then we have made a list of critical skills which is required through the job description. You can see skills like designing, agility, testing, decision making, team player, communicator. So these are certain skills, certain keywords which you can also, browse through the job description. Now, next aim for Harry is to understand that how he can, blend these skills naturally with the skills he already possess. Fine. So how to blend them? You have done your degree part almost. You are about to complete your degree, so you can understand how you can inculcate these skills and how you can blend these skills with your natural skills, right? So once you understand that how you can do this thing, then next thing is to present them, is to post all of these skills which we have talked about, all of these core skills. You have to present them, post them on your resume very judiciously. It should not be like that we are exaggerating our core skills, but we have to place them on the critical areas we were talking about very judiciously, so that it will be subtle also, and it will be shouting out that you are carrying all those skills which have been asked through the job description. Fine. So this is how you should be thinking about your resume at the very beginning. How to create a targeted resume. Our task is that. So this is how we should target our resume. What resume should be comprises of at the very beginning. You should understand. You should target all the core skills as per the job descriptions. Fine. So you can understand for different job descriptions, you may need to modify your core skills also, right? So this is how we will work at the very beginning. Let us just try to take an activity also. We will try to engineer your skills. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a sample job description. And what you try to do is from those sample job description, see here we will try to read the job description. We will try to analyze the job description. Once you are able to analyze the job description, you will be asked, or I am asking you as in this activity, to make a list of at least top 6 skills which is expected in the job description. So I hope you understand. In this activity, I'll show you the job description. Read the job description. Take your time, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever time you want to take, and try to find out at least top 6 skills which is expected by the employer. Right? Let me just show you this one. Just a second. The page is loading. Now you can see, let me just try to zoom in also. Here you can see job description 1. Name of the company is available and the position is also available. Let us just spend some time on this job description and try to read this job description just to understand what are the major top skills expected from this particular company. And as I was telling you, this job description, always the job descriptions are structured in such a way that the initial few lines will be about the company's detail, company's missions, company's philosophy. And then later on, they will be talking about the relevant position they are looking for. And then particularly after that, they will be looking about the hard skills and the relevant skills they need in the candidate. So let us just try to read. Venmo was founded on the principles of breaking down the intimidating barrier around financial transaction to make them intuitive, friendly, and even fun. So you can see the company's values have been listed. So they are looking to build certain thing which is relevant to financial transaction, but the value of the company is intuitive, friendly, and fun. So you can also try to build yourself, or this may also make you ready for the further rounds. Also, suppose if you will be called for an interview, can understand how companies value lie, where the company value lie, and you can accordingly prepare for your interviews also. But right now, since we are talking about resume, so we'll try to understand or decode what company's value is all about, right? And it worked. People love sending money with Venmo, and we are going by leaps and bounds. But we are only getting started. We want to take the magic of sending money with Venmo and cascade it into every places where people use money. That means connecting people to their money in the most intuitive and fun way possible, then connecting people with each other. See, again, some companies value that they want to create a connected thing, a connected philosophy also. Fine. User already love Venmo, but we know there are a lot of things we haven't thought of to make the experience of using Venmo even more delightful and valuable. All things to take. See, you can understand this whole paragraph here. It is all about the company and its values. In the next paragraph, working on a cutting edge app that is used by millions, that people love. At Venmo, we are looking for engineers who want to be inspired and inspire others. So they might be looking for people who can inspire and who can create a good environment for the team, for people to work, right? Engineering is a craft at Venmo. We want the internals of our software to be as elegant and user experience we are designing. We teach and learn from one another. Again, teamwork has been given a priority. Push each other to be creative, analytical best. We work with the product team that is data driven and human centered in the design principle. So they have given a little bit idea about the role for which they are hiring, what kind of person they are requiring, what kind of job the person may have to do, in what environment this job will be done, right? Then if you come below, you can understand that specific skills which is required or which is being expected by this company. We are looking for iOS engineer who will be responsible for making the engineering design decision and developing features pertaining to iOS application. You will also be expected to be a role model on coding standard, tool, platform, and other best practices for the backend team. Fine. So these are some very relevant skills they are talking about from this section. Now, from this section, you will see about eligibility and very relevant skills which have been asked from the user. Fine. Advanced technical standard quality, collaborate with other engineering team in API design and development, help solving bugs, track software defects, ensure timely resolution, build solution for refactoring the existing code base, improve our testing and tooling, interface with product and other functional teams and their leadership. Okay, so these are some of the very basic requirements they are looking for. What hard skills, what technical skills a person should have. Then what are the qualifications? So a person should be bachelor's in computer science or related field of study. The person must have this much of experience in software development. Now, experience could be of different types also, but they are asking for a very relevant software of experience of software development in the related field. The person should have working experience of these things: Swift, Objective C. Those who are from the computer background, they can understand. Strong object-oriented programming skills, experience with entire software development lifecycle, familiarity with iOS design, experience developing and maintaining innovative large-scale consumer-facing mobile application, and strong communication skills with the ability to understand and explain the technical issues to the non-technical audience. So we have taken kind of a gist from this particular job application. Now I'll try to throw a question to all of you. What do you understand that what could be the top 6 skills from this particular job description you can understand? Can you make your can you use the chat box and try to write your answers? What are the top 6 skills you have found from this job description that a person should have, or what a company is expecting? Okay. People have started to writing. Let me just try to switch this chat to everyone so that all of us we can understand. Shubham has asked, Shubham has written, teamwork is one of the core skills which a company, which this particular company might be looking for. Can any other person or any other participate and tell us what do you observe? Experience, Rahul is suggesting. Rahul, experience, yes, they are looking for experience, but what kind of experience, that you also have to take care. Multitasking, Sanjeev is saying. Sandhya is saying motivated. Okay, Nitesh is saying manpower management, programming skills, iOS development. Very well, Akshay, programming skills and iOS development. Projects, good communicator, decision-making process, leadership, advanced codings. See, guys, what you people are writing, these are very generic terms you are writing, and core skills can't be this generic, right? Though you are right in teamwork and leadership, but we are talking about core skills, and core skills can't be very generic. Try to think and try to again read this whole job description. Try if you can modify your answers. Solve bug, meaning solving problem and error. Okay. I'm still waiting for better answers because see, we need, yeah, somebody has written, Neha has written, candidate should have a knowledge of available here, API design and development. Fine. This could be one of the very core skills. We are talking about core skills, right? And see, you might have seen resumes where people have written reading books, reading novels, watching movies. Fine. These are not the core skills. Try to understand. These are your hobbies. And even these hobbies are not relevant to what the work is about, what the job is about. Fine. Even if you want to mention hobbies, that hobby must be relevant because the employer don't have a lot of time to go through your personal life. They are looking for a relevant candidate, fine. So whenever you are trying to list out the core skills, you should be very relevant. You should avoid being generic. Okay, somebody has written problem solving and analytical skills. I can say it is correct, right? Right. Refactoring could be one of the things. You can understand somebody has already written iOS design, should have a strong programming skills, analytical skills, divide complex problem into easy. Yes, core skills. Divya has asked, core skills are the keywords. Obviously, you have to find at least 6 keywords from this job description and very relevant keywords, right? Artificial intelligence, Deepak has written, but in this resume or in this job description, artificial intelligence is nowhere mentioned, so we can avoid it. Testing and quality assurance, Aman has written very well. Testing was there somewhere in this job description. So testing, yes, testing and tooling. So this is one of the core skill. So we have to understand a job description, and based on that, we have to list at least 6 in, see, make it a practice. Next time, say, whenever you will see a job description in front of you, try to find out at least 6 keywords which is very relevant to the job description, and try to introspect yourself also whether or not which of the skills you already have, so you can put it on your resume, right? Anmol has written a very well answer, C plus C hash Swift. Now see, Anmol, you have written C hash C++ Swift, so we can combine them also in one particular technical terms, right? We can make a technical term for that. Okay, teamwork, testing, and debugging. So we can write these things, right? Debugging, bugging, advanced coding, data analysis. So a lot of good answers I have also found. So let me just take you through again back to my presentation where I might have also listed what skills I am able to list out from this job description. Let me just take you through just a second. So we have done this activity so that we can understand how to read a job description. how to analyze a job description, and from after the analysis, the prime important task after doing this activity is to understand the core skills which is required in this job description or in any job description. What core skills are expected? So this should be your first thing, first activity whenever you're about to see next time after this class, if you are about to create your resume. The first thing is whatever the latest job description, last job description you have studied, take out that job description, make a list of all the core skills asked in that job description, and try to implement that the same skills in your resume also. Under the core skills section, I will show you also where is the core skills section, right? So right now, I'll tell you what are the 6 core skills I was able to detect from that particular job description. You see, the developing was there 2 times in that job description. So developing in a team environment, I could say it could be given a highest weightage in that particular job description, development and developing, working in a team environment. So this was given a lot of importance in the particular job description. So based on that, this could be my topmost core skill, right? Second, I'll come to the part where hard skills have been talked about, developing, designing and building with APIs. So this could be again a very important core skill for that particular person they are looking to hire. The person should have ability to troubleshoot and finding bugs in the application. Again, this could be again a very important core skill we are talking about, right? Just a second. Okay. Next core skill is object-oriented programming. So somebody has written also C++, C, C hash. So all of these coming under a particular term, object-oriented programming. So this could be another core skill, right? Building and maintaining mobile applications. Again, one of the very obvious kind of core skill which should have for this particular job role. Then proficient with software development lifecycle. So we can understand that these are the very important or very significant core skills which has been asked in this particular thing. Fine. Somebody has written a web designing JavaScript, React, JS. So you can understand, see, JavaScript, React, JS are what kind of skills? You can mention this in this particular list of 6 skills, right? Are they? Anmol, you have asked this question. We will take this question during the question answer session. Anmol's question is, with no experience, how the student can make a resume? So we'll take this question during the question answer session. When we are done with the entire session, I will give you some ideas also about it. Now, once we are familiar how to, identify the core skills from the job description and how to apply it on our resume, we will try to look about how we can optimize your resume, right? How to optimize your resume in this digital age. Again, there is a set rules. There are set rules by which if you can perform those steps, you can easily optimize your resume also, right? So anybody who will follow this particular session in a good manner, they can understand for any kind of work, maybe let's say web developer, maybe banking, maybe for accountant. So for any role, these are very general rule which you can apply and optimize your resume for. So have patience, try to listen to me. I hope my voice is clearly reachable to all of you. Is my voice clearly audible to all of you? Right. Thank you. Thank you. So what are these steps by which you can optimize your resume in the age of algorithm, irrespective of the job positions we are talking about? So whenever we have a job description in our hand, this company has posted this job description, you should check the language of the company. For example, in the previous job description, we went through the job description, we understood that that particular company was all about friendliness, the human touch, the teamwork. Fine. So this is how their company values, or this is how their expectation lies. So you have to find the matching language from the job description itself. Or suppose if you want to go one step ahead, you can always check their website, company's website. You can check their about section in the website. You can check the mission vision statement of the company, mission vision state of the company on their website. So you can understand the language the company use for their working environment. Fine. So you should always be aware about the matching language of the company where you are, which company you are targeting, right? And from the job description or the website, you should also identify the buzzwords. So buzzwords, again, I'm telling you, see, when you read this job description and the website, you will easily find all these two things, the matching language and the buzzwords. Buzzwords here stands for the keywords which I'm talking about, right? Then use the solid titles. See, right now also I'm very sure that all of us, at least not all of us, at least 90 to 95% of the participants have their resume with you. Fine. And in your resume, you might have given some titles, maybe to your experience, maybe to your project, or maybe to your internships. Fine. You must have given titles in those sections of your resume, but we need to make solid titles. Now, when I say solid titles, how to make those solid titles, that we will be talking about using the solid keywords, solid words. I'm going to share certain kind of a toolkit with all of you where you can use that toolkit to make your titles solid. In the coming slide, I'm going to tell you. Fine. Then, if possible, suppose you are working in a non-technical field also, still, if possible, try to include certain softwares which are relevant to the job role which a industry is looking to hire for. For example, if a company is looking to hire for even for a back-end operation, or even for a, let's say, communication person for communication, back-end communication, fine. So still, if you need, let's say, if you also learn about PowerPoint presentation, if you learn about drafting document on any Word software, fine. So if you have those software which you have already learned, if you can list them with your, you can say, proficiency in those softwares, that will increase your chances. The company will understand that this person has the passion to improve their work style. Fine. So you try to include some relevant software also as per the demand of the profile, right? Then after making your CV, try to take the audit of the keyword. Suppose after making the CV and you have already identified or analyzed the job description, so you can understand in the job description a particular word, a particular keyword I'm talking about, let's say designing, or let's say teamwork, is repeated how many times. Let's say that teamwork is repeated, let's say 3 times or 4 times in the job description. That means you can understand what is the weightage of that particular keyword for the company. So try to give equal weightage to that particular keyword in your resume also. Fine. You can always go for audit of the keyword. I will also tell you about certain online tools where you can do this audit of the keywords of your resume. There are word clouds available for that. Those who already know about word clouds, you can understand. Otherwise, for other people, I'll tell you how you can use the word clouds just to track the audit of the keywords of your resume, right? Just wait for a while. Now, we have seen these are the five major steps to make your resume or optimize your resume. Now, see, I've just tell you that these are the things you have to done, but how to do these things, fine? So how to find the matching language, how to identify the buzzwords. So these things, how to apply them, I'm going to tell you here in the next slide. Okay. First, for example, if you want to find the, make the titles solid titles. If you remember, I have used the third thing, use the solid titles. So how to use the solid titles? For that, you have to use the powerful language in your resume. So power of language for designing the content. When you're designing the content for your resume, how to use the power of language. See, you can understand if I'm speaking something. Let's say if I'm speaking something that say I'm saying that I'm sitting beside a river flowing, fine. So we can even visualize I'm sitting inside a Mercedes. So I can visualize that I'm sitting inside the Mercedes. This is the power of the language, that it will make you visualize your condition, visualize your perception. So if you use very effective language, powerful language, it will lead the employer, the person who is reading your resume, visualize your condition. Fine. So this is the power of language. For example, if I try to tell you certain words like sustainable energy. So when you understand sustainable energy, you may think about solar energy, you may think about wind energy or ocean energy. So this is the effect of the language. If you use certain very key terms or those language which can you can we can say which can draw us a picture in the mind of the people, those are the powerful language, right? So we also will try to use the powerful language in our resume also, fine, so that in very lesser words also we can build a trust with the person who is reading your resume, fine. So how to use those powerful language, I will tell you. Okay, For this, you need to supercharge the content which you're writing. Suppose you're going to write a statement about yourself or about your work in your resume. So that content can be supercharged by implementing only three things. Now, what are those three things? You can integrate some brand name in your CV. Suppose you have done a job, or suppose you have done a project, or suppose you are doing a project, you have done an internship. Fine. So you try to integrate certain brand. Now, when I say brand, it doesn't need to be a global brand or a well-known brand. At least some name should be there. Fine. So the person who is reading this, he will have a trust that this person, see, has worked for this particular XYZ thing. Right. So include a brand in your content. Quantify your work. Fine. Suppose you might have done, you might have made a website. So you can quantify that this website which you have made, it has these many stacks, or it has got these many hits, it has got this much size. Right. So you can quantify your work also, to supercharge the content, right? And then give certain amount of detailing also, just to build the trust. I will give you an example also how you can supercharge the body of the content. And accordingly, for different job roles, you know it better कि आपके job roles, for your particular job roles, how you can supercharge or how you can integrate these three things while designing the content for your resume, right? Let me just give you an example. Let's say using the same job description which we have went through, some people may write it like that: I have developed an iOS app for a group of scientists. This is a statement, very generic statement, has been written by the person. This doesn't create that impact which a reader can, can build a trust with. So how to supercharge this particular statement? By integrating the brand name, by quantification, or by detailing. Right? So how we can rewrite this particular statement? Let us just try to understand. Fine. On your resume, you can write a very powerful word here, collaborated. You can use the word collaborated. I have helped. So again, not a very powerful word. You can write collaborated with a team of X. You can write the size of the team also, that team of these many people, to develop the iOS app for some science group or organization. Now, group of scientists, you can mention the name of that group or organization name. So brand will be integrated. Fine. A powerful word was integrated, a brand is integrated, and some detailing, like what was the team size, when it was launched, how many times it was downloaded, in how many months. So all of these things, supercharging elements, are added to this content. Fine. So whenever you're writing a content on your resume, you can use this technique. Always use these three things. Give certain quantification and detailing whatever relevant to your work. So this will definitely help you in getting the in creating the content effectively, right? In a way that you want to supercharge it, and for find those powerful words. So it could be again a problem, or it could be Sanjeev is saying I am not audible. Is it the same thing for everyone? Okay, I'm getting a mixed reaction. A lot of people are saying I'm audible. Let me just try to rework on my network. Just give me 2 minutes. Am I audible to all of you clearly now? Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us begin in few seconds. So we were talking about how to create the powerful language. Okay, how to create the powerful language that we have just understood. Just a second. All right. So for that, suppose you have understood from the job description, you have understood that what are the core skills, how to find core skills. Based on the core skill, you need to write certain content for your resume. For writing the powerful content, you need powerful words, brand name, and the detailing and quantification. Fine. So for detailing and quantification, we need to use, or for powerful word, we need to use certain terms or certain words which can create a kind of a trust in the reader. So for that, I have listed a toolkit for all of you. So this toolkit is going to help you to find the powerful word as per the job description or as per the expectation of the company. Fine. I will be sharing this whole presentation and all the resources I'm using in this particular workshop with all of you who will, attend this, who will go for attendance. So we are going to share our attendance and feedback involved with all of you. Please do fill the attendance and feedback form so that we can have your contact details, all the attendees, for all the attendees, and then we'll share them through your email ID or through WhatsApp also, whatever feasible. We will try to share these content or these resources with all of you so that you can create your resumes also. So there in this PPT itself, you can find, I have associated a link where you can find a toolkit to find the powerful words. So how to use this toolkit, let me just try to show you. I click on this toolkit. So you can see list of power words. Okay. Now, let's say after reading this job description, you understand that this job description is seeking a core skill related to leadership. Fine. And in your past or in your resume, you want to enter something you have done which is related to leadership. So you can use these keywords: administered, analyzed, assigned. Okay. Similarly, if the one of the core skill is communication abilities, fine, and you have done certain things related to communication. So you can use these words also: arranged, authored, co-authored, curated, right? For research related core skills, for design related core skills, for creation, for teaching, for finance related core skills. So these are certain words related to the core skills which you might have analyzed from the job description, right? You can always use, suppose for finance related, you can use your sentences using allocated, analyzed, assessed, audited, balanced, fine. All of these are the some of the power words which you can use while making your resume and while writing the description of your core skill. For example, you have used your core skill somewhere, so while writing the content, you can use this power word, then some branding, then some quantification and detailing. There are some samples also available. For example, somebody has written, I raised $5,000 for disaster relief fund. So this is a content written on a resume. It is not that impactful. It is not that powerful, right? So how to do this particular thing or how to make this more effective? Yes, yes, Abhishek, don't worry. We will share all the resource. You just have to, everyone has to, go through the attendance link. Please share your details, email details and phone numbers so that we can, send this to all your email IDs or WhatsApp if it's possible, right? Instead of writing this, I raised $5,000 for a disaster relief fund, we can write, Spearheaded. See, again, a very important and a powerful word, spearheaded. Okay, again, a leadership kind of a word. Spearheaded a $5,000 fundraising effort to assist the victim of something. Now, you can say, I have written brand name. So, any name which is associated with disaster, what kind of disaster was there? So, you have to write this particular thing over here. Fine. It will kind of create a trust that this person was there, has really done this work, fine, by promoting a message through something and something, right? So you again, some detailing is there, some quantification is there, right? So you can write these things. There are more examples here in this particular toolkit. So you must use this toolkit, you must go through this toolkit and apply this toolkit while making a resume for yourself also, right? I'm keeping it here only. Please, after understanding, after analyzing the core skills, if you want to write description of your core skills, use these powerful words, this toolkit to write the description, integrating the brand name, integrating quantification, detailing, and power word, right? Please do this thing. So if you have understand what we have done so far at this point, let us just try to take an activity. Again, it's kind of an introspection activity. So what we need to do is we need to do these 5 things. You can think about a most recent career related experience. Now, this could be someone who is working somewhere or a fresher also. Whatever, suppose you were doing your assignment, you might have done your project report you have written, fine. So whatever career related experience you have done recently, you can say you need to do what you need to do is you need to understand what part of that experience was important, just like your job description. In the job description, which part of the job description was most important, right? You have to think in that experience what was the most important part, then try to align that most important part with your experience and try to find what were the major skills required to do that work. For example, if you have done made a project report, or if you have done something at your work, fine. So what was the major top skills you have done or you have implemented to do that work? So try to just think about it, okay, from that reference, and then try to reframe that. Like suppose if I say that for conducting this workshop, this particular workshop, I have made this presentation. So for making this presentation, my top skill was analyzing the requirement, analyzing the employability field, analyzing the job role, labor market. Fine. So I have done analysis. Analysis could be one of my skill. Fine. So analysis ko I'll explain with some content writing. Now, content writing may include I may use some power word, I may use some brand name, some detailing, some quantification. You have to do that these things. For doing that for job, what skills were you have implemented, right? Now, after you align those skills, describe the part of your experience. Fine, that is what I was saying. Then repeat that for more skills also. Suppose you have done for one skill, then for second skill, for third skill, try to write 2 to 3 bullet points for each of those skills you might have applied for that work. So what will happen? It will try to help you create your resume. In your resume, you may write that I have conducted a workshop on resume building and I have applied these core skills. For each core skills, you can write some bulleted points, right? So this is how you can make your resume more impactful. I've just given, see, for that activity which I was telling you, for these 5 activities, I'm just giving you an idea. See, as a person who might have implemented a core skill of analyzing the data. Suppose somebody has implemented a core skill of analyzing the data. So how he will explain this core skill, that how he has implemented. Just writing analyzing data will not work, right? You have to explain it also. So while explaining it, you have to design a content, or you have to design a supercharged content, right? For supercharged content, you have to use a power word. Enabled could be a power word. Let us just first read the entire statement once, and then we'll try to decode, or we will try to reverse engineer this particular thing, right? So enable the creation of large Excel database built with data point gathered from Security and Exchange Commission SEC website on a 200 publicly traded companies, and use the database to analyze the goodwill impairment calculation made by firm during 2010s. You can understand a very effective statement has written, and just let us just try to decode or reverse engineer. Are all of those things which I was telling to you earlier, are all of those things applied here? Okay, whether it is applied here, let's see. So a brand name is written, definitely a brand name is written, Security and Exchange Commission. Some detailing is there, some quantification is there, some detailing is there. Again, a power word is also there. I forgot to highlight it. A power word enabled is also written. So all of those four aspects which I was talking about, it is mentioned even over here also. I'm going to show you some sample resume also where these same philosophy is applied. For example, this is a resume of some person I was able to find on internet, Grace Sample again. So you can see Grace has written some statement about her role, financial project assistant. This is what she has done recently, might be. Now she has tried to explain some sentence also about that role. So assisted in analyzing potential real estate acquisition across X states with deals totaling X million. You can understand a power word assisted is there. Maybe a brand name is missing, but detailing and quantification is there in the first statement, right? Similarly, in the other statements also, you can write as many as possible. It is not like that you should every time you should include that, but if it is possible, try to include a brand name and you must include detailing and quantification, right? You can see other samples also. Please, after this workshop on the internet, please go to internet. We will also share some sample resumes with all of you. So try to read all of those sample resumes also, how they have implemented or how they have written statements in those resume. Try to use them, try to review them, find whether these things were applied. You will see in most of the resume, these techniques which I'm talking to you, they will be applied in all the resumes globally or internationally I'm talking about, right? Now, coming to the part, every resume should have a kind of a professional summary. A summary, executive summary should be there. Now, but this summary must be written after you have completed your entire resume. It's kind of a, like you are writing a research paper. So you do all your research, you complete all your research, you do your finding, you write your conclusion, observation, and after that you write the abstract, because abstract requires everything in your research or whatever you have done. So similarly, a summary should include everything which you have written in your resume, right? So that reader will understand from the summary itself what is going to be there inside the book. Whenever you read a book, you read their abstract, right? So abstract includes everything. So in this resume, make it a practice. After making a resume, after you're done making a resume, try to write a summary. Fine. Your resume must have a summary section crafted on the lines we have discussed so far. Now, what we have discussed, some powerful words, some core skills, supercharge those core skills. Everything must be included even while writing the summary also. Okay, your top skills must be summarized in a way that it aligns with the role you are targeting, right? I will give you one example also. Suppose person Josh, he is currently working as a product manager at some organic food firm. Now let us just try to see how he will modify his summary section, right? So I have given this template. I will also give you this template, give the template to all of you who are participating in this workshop. So this template is here. This is an editable template, let's say. So how Josh will try to edit this template. In the initial few lines, this template, it is written a skill summation. That means a Josh can write some of the major skill over here, what Josh has done. Josh can mention his experience if it is there. Otherwise, you can also skip the experience part. Fine. And what kind of experience Josh has had. Fine. And what are the unique characteristics Josh has built. Again, this unique characteristic will also be related to the specific kind of core skill that person has. Okay. And then you can list out those skills available here in the summary section also, right? Let me just try to see some chats are coming. Okay, so, somebody is asking for attendance link. Let me just share attendance link with all of you in the chat box. Right. So this is just the template part, but how Josh will modify, let's see. Josh has modified that a product managing expert with 4 years of experience in what kind of experience he possesses, food processing and distribution, right? So this is the first two line of the summary. First line of the summary, I would say, major role, experience, and what kind of experience, right? Now, after that, how he will, modify this template is specialized. He is very specialized in his work. He's not doing very generic work. He's specialized in managing what kind of thing? Product life cycle. So this could be one of the very important core skill for this particular job, which Josh also has, right? So he has specialized in one of the core skill, product life cycle, right? So this is how Josh can write his summary, and you can think about your summary also, like what is your prime important core skill, whether you have some kind of professional experience, if not professional, whether you have done kind of a project or some kind of internship. You can write those experience also, that many experience in particular type of experience also, and then you can include whatever core skills which was required to, to complete that work, right? Which you have mentioned in the previous line. This is how you should also write a expressive or very impactful kind of a summary, right? So this is how we can write summary. Now, if I want to tell you that we have already learned how to create a resume, we have already learned. See, a resume is comprising of core skills. Here also you can see in the sample, you can see functional expertise, some core skills are there. A resume comprises of some keywords or core skills. We already learned how to find out the keyword. Then resume needs to tell you about, you need to tell about your organization. If not organization, you can tell about your project, your internship. If you are a fresher, you can write those names as a title, and then you should explain those roles for doing that particular job or for doing that particular task or for that particular project. Fine. What skills you have seen, whatever skills you have mentioned in the functional expertise, you are going to use these skills just to explain them. And for explaining, you need to write the content. Content writing ke liye, I have already told you that you need to implement the power word, you need to implement the brand name, you need to implement the detailing and quantification. So this is how a resume is built. And then I have also told you about the summary. So this is how a resume is built, but still I'll take you to a step-by-step process also. I will take a template, one of the template, and I'll try to edit it as per one of the job description, or let's say one of the as per one of the person also in the later half of my workshop. But for now, I'll take a break. I'll give you a kind of a question answer session right now. So I'm open for taking questions. You can use your chat box to put your questions forward. Just stopping my screen sharing so that I can answer your questions. Please put forward your questions. Guys, if you have any questions, please put forward. Somebody has asked, Anmol has asked, how to make a resume as a student of second semester with no experience for a intern or trainee position. Anmol, what is your degree name right now? Are you in a graduation degree or a post-graduation degree? Arun, attendance link is shared in the chat box. Again, I'll share it in the chat box. Anmol has said BCA. Anmol, you are in BCA second semester, right? Now, you are going to target an internship or trainee position. So for a trainee position, you must be having a job description in your hand, I'm sure, what they are expecting from their trainee. Yes or no? Yes, Anmol? Yes. So if you read that job description, you can understand what kind of skills they are requiring from their trainee, right? They might be looking for someone who knows CSS. They might be looking someone who has a hands-on experience of Bootstrap or HTML or Java, right? They might be asking somebody who has some experience of React, right, Anmol? Okay. So for that, you understand that if you need to gain that internship position for yourself, you might have learned it somewhere, maybe in your coursework, maybe you have done some online course, maybe you have done certain kind of project, you might have built an app or a web application. So you can include that thing in your resume instead of your experience. You can include how you build that app or what things you have learned in that coursework, that particular application. You might have done certain activity, okay, some exercise. You just include that so that person will know that at least you know React, you know Bootstrap, you know CSS, right? So I hope I'm able to answer your question. I'll take some more questions. So I think so Shubham has also asked a question, how to make a CV for freshers. So see, Shubham, you try to take this idea. Even if you're a fresher, you have done a lot of hard work for getting that degree. And for that, getting that degree, you all have already learned a lot of hard skills, which is required for a particular job you are targeting. Fine. So how to just present it on the resume, that we are learning in this particular workshop. Shubham has asked, I'm pursuing MBA with HR and data science. Shubham, for that, suppose you are looking for a role in HR. So for whatever role you are looking for HR, you just read some two, three, four job description from different companies. You will find some kind of similarity in all the job description, similarity in terms of core skills they are looking, and just try to introspect yourself whether you have learned those core skills. And if yes, you are getting a yes for this answer, try to understand ki where you have learned it and how you have applied it. Just where and how put it in your resume, right? Because those core skills are very important. That is why company has mentioned in the job description. Sandhya has written, I have completed 10 plus 2 graduation in BA. I don't have any project or internship experience. Sandhya, for this, I would like to know what kind of role you are targeting for job. I have to go very down here. What job role you are targeting, Sandhya? Let me take more questions till then. How I create a ATS friendly resume? Please provide some template. Arun, this question is very wonderful. How you can create ATS friendly resume? See, it is not like that a software is good. There are software in market that they charge a good amount of fees also to create a ATS friendly resume. But try to think, see, those ATS are also built by human. Okay, try to understand the philosophy of those ATS. We are trying to decode it here also. Ki ATS may they are trying to look for some keywords which is already there in the company's database. Company के database में जो keywords है, that is fed to the ATS, and ATS will try to compare those keywords with your resume. So we need to just put those keywords in our resume. I hope, Arun, I am able to answer your question. So whatever template we are going to use very basic templates, but those keywords must be aligning whatever there in the job description with your resume, right? Divya has asked this question. What should be the length of the resume? My resume is 3 page long. That includes summary, skill. Divya, 3 page resume, again, it is difficult for a human to study. Suppose just like you, maybe let's say hundred or thousands of the other applicants have also given their resumes. So for a single person to go through those three pages resume, it gets a lot. It takes a lot of time. So we may need to rework your resume from three. Maximum you can go for 1.5 or 2 page, not more than that. Okay, we will try to keep a resume for up to 1 pages only for entry level roles. Suppose if you are fairly experienced, you have experience of 9, 10 years, different organizations, different projects, then you can extend your resume maybe up to 2 pages, but not more than that. Aman has asked this question. I have experience as a security engineer. Can you please share some sample resume? Aman, we are going to share more sample resumes after this workshop is over. Sir, if a job is asking for the work experience or relevant field, also they are asking for any background education, how should we crack this thing? Background, see, education, Divyansh, this question is very well. They may ask for a relative education sometimes, but at times they are also looking for relevant experience. And nowadays we have so many short-term courses, diplomas. Suppose if you're targeting any role and if you're doing short-term courses already, you have enrolled to LP Online. So I'm sure that you are targeting that one of the education background which you are seeking for yourself, right? So try to go for such kind of short-term courses, online degrees, so that your eligibility condition is at least met, right? This is a basic eligibility which a person should have, right? Any short-term courses, online courses, Coursera provide a lot of courses, NPTEL provide a lot of courses. So you can go for such courses also, short-term courses. Dharmendra has asked, sir, can you please follow fresher resume? Dharmendra, I'm trying to follow fresher resumes only, right? For full stack developer, we are trying to follow a generic practice, but we can always modify this practice for full stack developer also. Shubhankar has asked, sir, without work experience, how to build? Shubhankar, I have just given certain examples also while I was talking about the core skills, or I was talking about the content creation, how you can put your work as a fresher also, right? You have learned you used to everyone. Suppose if I'm fresher, but I put a lot of effort to complete a degree, and while completing a degree, I'm gaining a lot of core skills, right? And when I read the job description, I found the similar core skills are there in the job description. I just need to understand how to put my core skill in that job description, right? Through what activities, through what project, okay, through what assessment, maybe I have passed an assessment, so how I have applied that particular skill in that assessment. You just need to learn how to put it in the resume. That I'm going to we are discussing also in this workshop. Govinda has asked, sir, I have done MA Economics. I have 1 year internship in finance under a CA in a company and currently remote working for a startup, but I want to change the company. How should I approach and where should I find the jobs and how? Again, it's a out of scope question. How I mean, see, you need to know that where you should find a job. So there are a lot of job portals, Govinda. There are job portals like Naukri, there are job portals like Monsters or LinkedIn. Fine. So you can always assess these job portals and try to look out all the job posted in the expected, whatever your desirable area. So those are posted there. Just try to go through, navigate them through them. So Arun has written, I am a 2 years experienced software developer, but my resume rejects in ATS. Arun, if you think your resume is getting rejected in ATS, just try to do an audit of the keywords of the job description for which you have applied. Suppose you have applied for some previous roles, just to try to audit those job description with the resume you have sent to them, and try to think whether how much your core skills are mapping with the audited keywords you have done. Right? You will get your answer yourself. Sandhya, you are targeting marketing roles. So for marketing roles, suppose you are doing BA. So, but for BA again, during BA, you might not be, you might not have that many skills you can acquire during your BA, but still you can do a lot of side-by-side projects. Also, you can do some online MOOCs, massive open online courses, MOOCs courses from NPTEL, from Coursera, Udemy. These are so many things available. So from there, try to do like short-term courses from there. So during that those short-term courses, you will acquire certain key skills, core skills, and some keywords you will have after that to put in your resume. Just try to go through some relevant projects also for that thing. As a fresher only you will apply, but you will have certain things or certain core skills to present in your resume after that. So I have got a lot of questions. Divya has asked a very important question. I would like to answer this question. Sir, do we have to customize our resume for every job as we have to apply for multiple companies? So I would like to put this question to everyone. Divya is asking whether she need to apply or customize the resume for every job. I hope by now everybody understand that yes, we have to do little modification for one from one role to another job, from one job to another job, because even for the same similar kind of roles, there are different expectation of the company in terms of skills, right? So maybe some skills are not mentioned in one job description but is mentioned in another job description, so you have to modify it. What you can do is you can keep 2 or 3 copies of your resume ready based on what different category of roles you are applying, right? And just audit it with the job description available in your hand and with your resume. I hope I am making a sense, Divya. Uday is also asking the similar question. Uday, yes, you need to tweak it. You need to modify your resume a little bit. Shubhankar is asking, resume में photo डालना चाहिए. Shubhankar will answer this question in a while. Hardik has asked the question, how to make resume interactive, well and short. I'll show you some resume templates that it will answer your question. Vishal has asked, is it okay to mention all the skills in my resume? I'm pursuing an MBA HR operation management. In addition to this, I have done MCOM, BCom. No, Vishal, again, a very important question. Please, everyone listen to Vishal's question. Vishal has asked, is it okay or is it mandatory to mention all the skills you have? See, you might have skills, different skills. You might have culinary skills. You might have gardening skills also. But you should mention only those skills which is, relatable to the job you're applying. Otherwise, your resume will be for 3 pages long or 4 pages long. We need to also keep the resume short also for 1 page. So you should, take the filter of all the skills you have, and you can, it should be aligned with the job description. So you need to mention only those skills which is, in alignment of the job description. Vishal, I am hoping that you're getting this answer. Bhavna has asked how to make resume attractive. Bhavna, resume attractive, we can make resume attractive just by using powerful words, which we were discussing about. We will not go for very graphical kind of elements in the resume, but with the words we are writing. So I'll stop taking the question from here because otherwise I'll be keep asking the question or keep answering the question. What I will do is, let me just try to finish the remaining part. And then what we will try to do is, we will try to take questions in the second half. All right, let me just share my screen again. So we'll try to take some pointers out of you so that we will try to see what you have learned through this particular workshop so far. There are certain questions I would also like to ask all of you, and I would like all of you to answer through the chat box. There is one question that should you tell your life story in your resume, Vishal? It is the same question Vishal was asking. Should you tell your life story in your resume? Yes or no? Obviously no, because resume is having a very tight space. You have only 1 or 2 pages, right? So no. Keep your resume of one page anyhow. Should you keep your resume of one page? Again, it's a very dicey question. Some people might say yes, some people might say no, but it is totally depend upon the progression of your career. Right now, what is the stage of your career? Suppose if you're very entry level kind of a person, then it is a definite yes. You should keep your resume of one page. But if you are fairly experienced, you have a experience of 5 or more than 5 years, you have done multiple projects, multiple companies, then you can extend your resume up to 2 pages. Okay. But for freshers, you should keep it for yes. So it is a dicey answer. So I have written a no for a fairly experienced candidate. You must not leave any gaps in your education and employment on your resume. So if you have a gap, let's say if you have a gap, you can leave that gap. It is not necessary that you should always fill the gap. People understand that it is a tough job market out there. It takes you some time. Suppose after finishing your education, it may take you 6 months, maybe after even your if you're changing your job, right? Even if you're changing a job, it may take you some time to get a new job. People understand these things, so it is not mandatory to not leaving the gap. You can leave the gap, but even during that gap, suppose if you have done certain relevant activities, maybe you have enrolled into a course, okay, you were learning a skill there, so you can mention such things, right? Should you include a non-paid job or volunteerism on your resume? So yes, you can include a non-paid job if your non-paid job or volunteerism is relevant with the job description. Agar job description mein if those skills are there which you have done in your volunteerism, then you can definitely write a yes. Otherwise, please try to avoid it. You can't write like I was learning cooking during that volunteerism. If the cooking is not the part of the job description, then you should avoid such. Okay, now thing is, you include funky, eye-catching, attractive email IDs on your resume? No. Okay, please don't use very funky kind of email IDs. Some people you will find cool and some name will be written, or some kind of very funky email IDs. Please try to avoid such email IDs. Create very professional email IDs and keep a track of those email IDs. Right? Professional email IDs must be there in your resume. These are certain things which I would like to all of you, very key points which you should keep in your mind while creating your resume, right? Now, here you can see in this particular slide, there are 4 sample resumes I am presenting to all of you, right? I would like to throw this question to all of you. What do you think, which kind of resume is better suited? If I try to number these resume, let's say this is number 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So what do you think, which resume is suitable or better to be sent for job application? Please give your answer in form of number 1, 2, 3, 4. Many people are responding with 2. Some people are saying 4 also, 1 and 2. So majority of you are saying 2. Why 2? You can understand 2 is a very simplistic kind of a resume. But if you try to compare it 1, 3, or 4, a lot of graphical elements are added. Suppose if I am a recruiter, I need to find where the contact details are written, where the about me section or the summary is written for different resume. So I have to do a lot of scanning in the remaining of the resumes 1, 3, and 4. But when I see 2, you can see all the areas or all the things, all the elements which I have included in my resume is right in front of me. So not a lot of disturbing graphical elements are there in my resume. So I can always go for a second kind of a template for my resume. It makes resume look very simpler, fine. But suppose if your job is, let's say for a graphic design, you're applying for a graphic design job or a designer kind of a job or creative jobs, then you can always have some kind of exemptions. Otherwise, for most of the non-creative jobs, you can always go for a very simpler kind of a job template, right? So I will take you through a step-by-step guide of writing the resume. I have made a document here. So I will share this document with all of you also, where I have used 9 to 10 steps of creating the resume in very detail. Let me take you through that. Just a second, I'll stop sharing my screen here. Please let me know if I'm audible to all of you, yes or no. Right, thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, now what we are going to do is, as a practice, I'm going to show you this document here where we will try to learn how we can create a document or a resume step by step, right? Just a second. So when I click on this particular document, it will open up with this file here. So can you see this file? Everyone, step by step resume writing guide. Please help me letting know whether you are able to read this one. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to follow each step to write your resume. Now, before following each step to write your resume, let us just quickly go through, read all of these steps, write your name and contact information. We will see the details later on. Build up your top 6 skills. See, try to find out top skills, 6 skills we can write in your resume. Then enter some job titles if you are working. If not, you are working, then you can enter your experience as a student, for example, what kind of roles or what kind of projects you have done, what kind of internships you have done. You can write all of these things here. You can describe each organization if you're working. If not, you can write different project names again over here. Also, you can write your internships over here, right? So just like those things which you have mentioned, you can supercharge it by branding, brand names, quantifying and detailing here. Then you can describe each role, integrate your power words. You can write your education and extracurricular activities which you might have done. At the end, try to write the summary. We have done an activity where I have told you about summary also. After writing your resume, you can proofread for spelling mistakes, for formatting mistakes, and you try to hyperlink the things. What is hyperlink? I'll tell you while I'm making this resume with you. And after that, try to make your resume shareable. It's not like you're making a resume on a Word document which is lying in your laptop or maybe on your phone. But suppose if you want to if you have to share it very readily with anyone in front of you, so try to have it on your Word cloud or maybe in your Google Drive, so that you can create a shareable link with everyone, and you can share your resume with everyone. Just send the link to them so that they can open and see your resume. So try to share your resume or try to make your resume shareable. These are the basic simple 10 steps which I'm going to cover while making this resume also. Fine. So I'll take you back to where we were. So I have listed out certain templates for you. So I have some template for general users, except the freshers. Then we can have some resumes for the recent graduates. That means for the freshers only. So you can use any resume, even freshers also can use the general resume. We just have to modify a little bit here and there. And then I have listed certain sample resumes also. All of these are hyperlinked. I was talking about hyperlink. So when you click on this one, it will open up with the directory. For example, if I click on sample resumes one, so you can see a Google Drive is opened. It will be open for all of you also. Suppose if you want to see a particular resume, fine. So you can select a resume, you can click down, double click over here and read a simple resume. It is a resume for someone who is working in communication area, right? So you can see their resume, you can read their resume. Similarly, for other ones also, you can read all of their resume. I have posted almost every possible sample resume which I can post just for you to get some idea. A sample resume for software developer, a sample resume for someone from legal, from accounts. So all of these things I have posted over here. You can take an example from the sample resume. Otherwise, we will try to build it from a fresh or from a scratch also. Madhu, we will share this link. I will share this PPT with all of you. In this PPT itself, all the links are available. So we can you can so that you can make use of it. Right. Let me just try to use one of the template. Let's say I use the first template. I'll click over the first template. It will take me to one of the documents. See, it is opening a Google document. Fine. I hope all of you are familiar with Google document. If not, you can click on this Google document. It works similar as the Word document. We will share all the sample resumes also, don't worry. Now, what you need to do is you just, whenever you will get this document or whenever you'll get this template, you just download this template as a Word file. Otherwise, let me just try to log in. It is logged in already. Otherwise, what you can do is, just a second, it is loading. Let me just try to refresh. See, whenever you will get this resume link, you have different options. You can download the Word document of this particular resume. Otherwise, suppose if you want to work on Google Doc, which I prefer, you can make your resume, create your resume on Google Doc. What is the benefit? You can always share this Google document. You can click on share, it will generate a link for you, and you can just share this link with anyone you want to share with. Fine. So whenever you'll get this resume template through this PPT, I will be sharing with you, just try to click a make a copy. Otherwise, you won't be able to edit. Right now, also, you can see I can't edit this particular document right now because it is created from some other account which I don't have access to, right? So, but when I click on this, make a copy, it will make a copy in my particular drive, fine? So it will create a copy of this template in my particular drive. I hope you can see my screen. So it has created a copy of the same template which I was using in my Google Drive also. Again, the template says that at the very top, you will be writing your name. You can give your certain extra information about you. If it is there, you can write your contact information. You can write your summary. You can write your core skill. You can say core skill is slightly deviated from here. So we can always edit it. We can put this left indent over here so that function expertise is moved. You can write all your core skills based on the job description you want to apply, the target you want to apply, and you can align these core skills with those targeted jobs. Again, this is also a little bit tweaked. We can always align it like this. You can write suppose if you're working, you can write your professional experience here. Otherwise, you can skip it and you can explain the relevant project part if it is there as a student, if you have done. So this is how we are going to use this particular template. For example, if I want to make it for myself, so I can edit it. Instead of name, I will delete it and I will write my name, Arpit Thakur, or we will try to choose. See, the template says that you have to write this name in all caps lock. Fine. So we are going to use the template as it is. All the letters of my name is going to be caps lock. Just a second. Right. Arpit Thakur. Now, suppose if I'm targeting a software related job and I have the software related experience also, I can write software. If I'm experienced, I'm fresher, I can write aspirational software developer or prospective software developer. Otherwise, you can skip it also, the extra part also. This is not mentioned. Suppose if you have a very hardcore experience of this particular sector, for example, I am as an assistant professor from a very long time. So I can write here assistant professor. And if I'm applying for assistant professor also, suppose if I'm applying for the same role, assistant professor, then I can use it. Otherwise, suppose I'm Arpit Thakur, assistant professor, but if I'm applying for a role for some management line, fine, then I should skip it. Otherwise, this will become a non-relevant kind of a role. But if I'm applying for a assistant professorship kind of a role, then I must mention it. From here only, the resume reader will set a link with you, right? Then you can mention your email ID over here. You can write your LinkedIn ID. See, some people have a LinkedIn ID which is very long. Let's say somebody has a LinkedIn ID www.linkedin.com/xyz, whatever, like this. So instead of writing this complete LinkedIn ID like this, we can always devise it in a shorter manner. Just write any technical word or any word you want to write. For example, I can write LinkedIn profile. I can write this text, simple text, LinkedIn profile. Just select this entire text. Okay. And just after selecting from your keyboard, you can press Control key. Okay. You can just paste a link over here. Otherwise, also, you after selecting this particular word, you can right click from your keyboard and insert a link. Right? So this option is available. After this, you can paste the profile link over here. Fine. So suppose my profile link is www.linkedin.com/Arpit Thakur, right? Suppose if this is my LinkedIn profile link, let me just make it a tweak here. Fine. Suppose if it is my profile link, I can just apply it here. So next time someone who is reading this software or reading this resume in a digital manner, suppose if you have sent someone a soft copy of it, so they can always click over here and they will be navigated to your LinkedIn profile. Suppose if you have some other portfolio, online portfolio available, right? So you can mention the link of those portfolio here, and so that it is very easy for the reader to click and go to those portfolio just to check your portfolio there, right? You can also mention your phone number also. Try to post your phone number in the international format with your country code and the remaining your number, right? So this is how you can create the top part of your resume. Then we will try to leave the summary for the beginning. Initially, we will not try to create the summary. We will try to create the summary after we are done writing the resume. Then you will have to post your 6 top skills. Suppose I'm trying to post or I'm trying to target a assistant professorship role, right? So what could be the key core skills for me? For that, suppose if I don't have idea what could be the key core skills, so then what I will do, I will go to any job portals, different job portals like LinkedIn or Naukri.com or any other job portals, popular job portals. I will check the listing of assistant professor roles there. Otherwise, nowadays you can use all sort of AI tools available, Chat GPT, Gemini AI. Fine. There you can write what are the required core skills, fine, for this particular role. So they will tell you what are the core skills, keywords for that. But still, I will recommend you to compare with a job description available in the market, because job descriptions are created in that manner. So with the job description, try to link or try to find all the relevant key skills and what are the highest weighted or weightage, which core skills are given the highest weightages. Just try to include those core skills if you also possess them, right? Don't be lying about, you should not lie about your core skills on the CV. If you have those things, just post it on your functional expertise things. For example, I have good presentation skills. This could be my topmost skill. I have good research skills. So I can write research, right? These are certain core skills. This is how you need to edit all at least you should write 6 core skills as per the job descriptions you are targeting. Then you should come to the professional experience part, or if you're not experienced, you can always skip this part and you can elaborate your project wala part or any other things which you have done as a student, which can impact your experience or which can impact your application for this job role. For example, as a student also, suppose I'm a fresher, I need to go for assistant professorship. So I can mention that, suppose if I have done a teaching assistantship, fine. I may have presented a paper. I may have participated in some kind of presentation competition. So I can always mention that what kind of event was there. So I can write the event name. I can write how I have in what authority I have participated, when I have participated. So this is how you can modify this particular template also as a fresher. So let's say if I am working in an organization, so I will write the name of the organization. You can understand this is in upper letter, the capital letters. So I will write the name of the organization also in the capital letter. And we will try to write it in full letters, not in short form. Like if I'm working in Lovely Professional University, I will try to avoid LPU, writing LPU. I will write it in full. Fine. Lovely Professional University. Right? So from which date to which date I'm writing, just I will write the date and the month. Let's say I'm working here, let's say from 25th July. So I will write 25/7 or 25 July. Okay, till date I'm working here. I can write my job title here. I'm working as a assistant professor here. So I can write also whatever my job profile or designation, right? Right? Then in this here, I can write a little bit details about my responsibilities as a job professor. I as an assistant professor, I can write all of these things, including the technique I have told you previously, like using the power word, using the brand name, using the detailing and quantification. Fine. So this is how I should mention one of, suppose I have written presentation as my skill. So I can write presentation here in the top skills. I can write presentation. Right. So I can write presentation, then I can write presented, or I can write any powerful word from here in a seminar organized by this particular organization, having these many participants. Okay, so these kind of things I can write, I can create these things just to have more trust with the reader. So I just need to supercharge this particular statement, which I'm going to write about presentation skill. Second, if I want to write something about research, so what I have done in my job regarding research, including a powerful word, including a brand name, quantification, detailing, should write everything in this manner. Suppose if I have any other job, I can write it over here from which date to which date. And always you should mention your career in the recent career first and then the previous career. Okay, reverse chronological order you must follow, right? So this is how you should mention all of your working experience if you have any. If you don't have any working experience, you can always go for relevant project. So here we need to create a title of your relevant project. Suppose you have developed, suppose you are doing BCA, let's say Bachelor of Computer Application, and you might have developed a website or a web app, let's say using some stack, let's say just a simple JavaScript. Using a JavaScript, you have made a web app. So you can write created a web app using JavaScript as a title, and then you can using the same technique which we have used, power word, branding techniques. So everything you can use and you can write it over here. Okay, this is how we can write the relevant project part. And in the education part also, you must write the highest degree first. For example, suppose you are pursuing a degree of, let's say, Master of Business Administration. So you should write the name of the highest degree here. I'll just create an enter and I'll just try to side by side write it here also. Master of Business Administration, right? See, when I'm typing it, I'm not following the format available here. So if you also have the same problem, if the format is not followed here, you can always select the text, which format you want to use, and you can use this little option available here, paint format. Just click over it and just run it through the text you want to format. Fine. You can see exact format is copied here. Fine. So I have done MBA. Okay, you can see in the bracket it is written focus. So what were your focus area during your education? Let's say I have done MBA in data science and HR. So I can write data science and HR, right? So these were my focus area while I was pursuing my MBA. Fine. So if any extra things which is very prominent for this, let's say the job which I'm applying for, it is very prominent, data science and HR is very prominent for this job, you must write this focus area. Fine. So from where you have done this MBA, let's say I have done this MBA from, let's say, Lovely Professional University, right? So I can write Lovely Professional University, and in the bracket, I can write the name, at least the city and the state, fine, or at least state and the country. I can write Punjab, India, right? So this is how I may write the name. See, Lovely Professional University itself is a brand, fine. So you can always hyperlink also. For example, here what I can do is I can select just like your LinkedIn profile, you can hyperlink Lovely Professional University also. Just select the text, create insert link, and you can write the website name of the particular brand also. In any brand name, suppose if you want to highlight something you have done for your company, maybe suppose you are working for Reliance, you have done something in Reliance, you can write the website name also there. You can write, highlight or hyperlink any part which is there available on the internet. If it is available, you must hyperlink there. For example, help you, I want to hyperlink. I can write the name of the website also, right? So this will kind of build a trust with the reader that this person has this much audacity that they can mention their brand names also, so that we can always check these things, right? These are some things you can mention in your education. When you scroll down again after your master, before your master, you might have done your bachelor's, so you can write your bachelor's degree in the same manner. Suppose Sandhya was working, was studying in BA, but she wants to do marketing related job. So I recommend her to go for some kind of short-term courses, some kind of certification courses. So if you have done some relevant certification courses, when I say relevant, again, relevant to the job description or job you are applying to. So if you have done certain kind of relevant certification or short-term courses, you must fill this section also. Sometimes when you are using this template, you must take care that additional professional development is the title of this section. And in the bracket, I have written four maximum. So try to include up to 4 or 5 certifications which you have done. Don't try to write hundreds of certifications here. Otherwise, it will show how arrogant this candidate could be. So try to mention up to 4 or 5 certification, which is the most relevant to this job. And when you are making it for yourself, please delete this 4 maximum, right? This is just for your guide, not for the person who is reading your resume, right? So just remove this 4 maximum and keep this title like this: additional professional development. You can write the name of your certificate. You may write that a boot camp in web development. You can write the certificate name. Sometimes the certificate are available on the internet also, just to showcase. So you can hyperlink the certification link also, from which education organization you have done, in which year you have done. Again, this should be also be presented in a reverse chronological manner, right? So this is how you should present your additional certification courses which you have done. If you have done some kind of volunteerism, you have hobbies, again, which are, again, this is not mandatory to put, but if this is relevant to your job you are targeting, you must put it. Otherwise, you can skip this one also, right? You can skip the volunteerism. If it is relevant to that, then you must write the organization name, what authority you have done, in which manner. Suppose was it physical or is it remote, you can mention it like this, fine. Please go through this template. If it is there, it is relevant, then you put the volunteerism activities also. Then you can write the additional information, other relevant information also, just like additional language. You see, the deliberately this title is given as additional language, because in the additional language, if I mention English, it is quite obvious this entire resume is made in English. So no need to mention English there. Otherwise, if you want to mention English, just edit this particular heading as languages. If I'm using this template as an additional language, I'll try to skip English, and then I will try to write other languages that I might know with their proficiency level. Okay, whether I'm a native speaker, whether I'm a advanced speaker, or a medium speaker, or an average speaker. So I can always write the proficiency level of that particular language. I have told you in the very beginning, to optimize your resume, you must use some kind of software. You must mention some kind of software. For example, I can mention Excel. So if I see, Excel is used, I think almost 95% of the job roles. It is required to be learned. So we can mention Excel, and you can write your proficiency level, advanced Excel, okay, basic Excel, so whatever level you know. So we can write Excel in the bracket. You can write basic or advanced or whatever your proficiency. This is how you must mention your software, which is relevant again to this job description. If you have received or you have been nominated for certain awards, which again you can mention it over here, but these awards, these nominations should be very recent. It's not like that I was nominating for a class in charge in my schooling days. You should not mention such awards. You should be very relevant about your awards also, because since we are building a targeted resume, right? So you can understand, if you edit this resume in a way, mostly your resume may fall in up to 1 page, or at max 1.5 to 2 page, not more than that, right? So this is how I will ask you to go through both the things, this template also, and the step-by-step guide, which I have already created and I will share with you. So using that step-by-step guide and this particular template, you must create your resume, recreate your resume, right? So it is advisable for all of you to go through these things. Now I'm open to take more questions from all of you. So the chat box is open for all of you. You can ask your questions. Again, the questions are same. Please share the PPT. I'm going to definitely share this PPT to everyone. You can ask your questions. Whether any participant have any questions based on this particular workshop. I have certain question in Q&A section also. Isha has asked what exactly need to be there in my resume for working in US so that my resume is a higher chance of getting shortlisted. Isha, what I have told you through this all this work throughout this workshop is this template which I'm using or the practice which I'm telling you, it is internationally accepted. So try to, implement. Suppose you are targeting any particular job role in US, you must be knowing it better than me. Just try to read different job descriptions for that particular job and try to find out the core skills. Try to find out the company's values, what languages, what philosophy they have. So try to make your resume in that particular manner using any template I have shared with you, right? Okay, many people have posted more questions. What are the additional courses we should do for better placements? Sandhya, it's a very relevant question, but again, it's a ambiguous question. Different people have different courses which is suitable for them. For example, I remember for you, it is marketing. For marketing, you always connect with the like people. For example, the people who are into marketing, or the people, suppose you are already, interacting with your teachers who are in the marketing domain. So please interact with those teachers. They will help you to know what kind of relevant marketing courses which are in demand in market. For example, content writing is one of the in demand thing. Maybe SEO, search engine optimization, digital marketing. So these are some of the very relevant or very in demand courses which you should target, right, Sandhya? But otherwise, I would suggest you to get in contact or in touch with the domain experts. They will help you in understanding what are the relevant courses which are there in the market, which is which is being demanded here. Akshay has asked how to verify our LinkedIn profile. Akshay, you can get your LinkedIn profile verified if you're working with certain organizations. So you can mention the name of the organization and verify your LinkedIn profile with the organization. Otherwise, you can use government ID cards to verify your LinkedIn profile. There are YouTube short videos available, very short videos, 1 minute videos available. You can check them to verify your LinkedIn accounts. But you must create the LinkedIn account very effectively. We are planning an upcoming workshop on LinkedIn profile. So please be a part of it, where you will learn how to create a effective LinkedIn profile also. Abhishek has asked, should we use our photo in our resume? Abhishek, you can, and you will see many people use photos in the resume. But what I would suggest personally is, since I'm telling you that resume is a very limited space, you have to, represent yourself in a very effective manner that I am the everything you can have. And in that limited space, photo, I think, carries a lesser impact compared to the words you are posting, compared to the information you are posting about yourself. So try to avoid a photo, but if you are trying to post a photo, try to post it towards the right hand side, which was a very earlier format, outdated format, and therefore the photo must be very professional. So if it is must for you to post a photo, then only post a photo. Otherwise, try to skip the photo. Somebody has asked, sir, LPU provides placement support to distance learning program students also. Harshvardhan, yes, LPU do perform. You have your credentials to log in to your eConnect ID. Please log into your eConnect ID. Check out the announcement section. There you will see all the relevant information regarding the placement support. The additional courses for better placement. HP, I don't know your exact name, but I would like to suggest you that for MCA, again, the same suggestion. First of all, try to connect with the like-minded people, the people who are in the domain, right? For MCA, you can always go for experts. and then they will teach you that they will tell you what are the most relevant courses. Otherwise, suppose you want to just go to any job portal, go to LinkedIn, see what kind of jobs are posted for computer application students. Okay, what are the which kind of jobs are more in number, higher in frequency? Then you will see that these are the demanded jobs, most demanded jobs nowadays. You can say data analyst jobs or web developer jobs, or say such kind of data engineer jobs, Google cloud platform kind of a jobs, management information system kind of jobs. These are the very highly demanded jobs. So just go through these job portals, try to assess what is the frequency of what kind of job role posted on these job portals. Then you will have an idea that which roles are more critical. And for those roles, read their job description. You will come to know about the skills which is required for the job. You will try to combine what are the common skills in all of these job descriptions, and try to target those skills. Do such courses where these skills are is imparted, right? Is Revel Raja has posted, sir, can you tell me about the font size, type of fonts? Raja, we are going to use very basic professional fonts, either Times New Roman or Calibri we are going to use. And for the heading, try to go for up to maximum 12 to 14 font size for heading ones. And for this, for other things, for description, you can go for 11 to 12 font size. Otherwise, if you're using the template I'm going to provide, font size are already predefined. Okay. Dharmendra has asked, what is the total 15 years of full-time education means? Raja, it is like from very basic, from a schooling to your graduation and post-graduation, if it is there, that means 15 years of full-time education. I don't know where you have read it, but again, it is a very, say, I need to know the context here, where you have read it, right? Not Raja, sorry, Dharmendra has asked this question. Moidur has asked, okay, Moidur has commented something. Then Hardik has asked, sir, how to make resume if you are from a non-IT field and want to apply for develop. Hardik, the same suggestion I would like to provide you, which I have provided to Sandhya. Sandhya was doing a BA, and she's interested in marketing jobs. So you have to do some kind of relevant activities in that particular job. Suppose you are in a non-IT field, but you need a job in web development. So you have to showcase that you are interested in this particular domain. And for interest is not like I'm saying it, that is not the interest. You have to do some kind of activities like you might have attended some kind of boot camps, you might have attended some kind of short-term course, you might have done a kind of a diploma, right? You have to do these things. You might have done some kind of a freelancing job, freelancing project. If not, you might have done some project just to embrace your skills. Suppose you are from a non-IT background, you started to learn, let's say, React. So आपने React के ऊपर maybe you might have build a practice website. You can show these things that even beside being a non-IT field, you have done these activities to justify your you can say application, right? How to get our LinkedIn profile verified by LPU? Again, Gunjan, I would like you to go get in touch with the LPU team for this. If it is possible, they will tell you. How to get LinkedIn profile verified. Sir, my previous qualification is in BTech CSC, but now I'm pursuing MBA in HR and IT. But now I want my career in HR. Whenever I apply for HR, my resume is not shortlisted. Akshay Deshmukh has asked this very relevant question. See, Akshay, you have applied for MBA for HR positions. So please try to tell me, have you ever, after this, see, when you have applied, have you tried to, audit the job description with the resume you are posting? In the job description, some relevant skills are asked, whether those things are available in your resume. Also try to ask this question to yourself. If it is a yes, then definitely your resume will be selected, or at least you will be getting a call for a screening process. The thing is, we don't make our resume relevant enough for the job thing. That is why our resumes are not shortlisted. Please make your resume aligning with the job description. I have seen a lot of resumes we are also receiving for our placement drives. For example, I'll tell you that we have opened a placement drive for a SEO executive role. And in that job description, it was mentioned that the company needed a person who is at least 2 to 3 years experience in SEO related tasks. Fine. They have mentioned also what kind of task. But there are more than 100 people who have applied for that job who are not having experience. First of all, not having experience. Then other people who were having experience, maybe having an experience of sales, maybe having an experience of a teacher. Fine. So they will definitely, they will not get a call. Fine. So out of those hundreds of applications, we were able to find only 14 applications where the person was fairly experienced in SEO roles. Please try to make your resume aligned with the job description, right? So we have a lot of other questions also. We'll try to take all of these questions maybe in our next workshop also, that we will plan, and we will share it with you through the announcement sections and maybe through emails also. But for now, I hope all of you have filled the attendance form and feedback form, from where we will get your email IDs, and we'll try to mail all the resources which I have used, in my workshop today. I'll definitely share it with you. And it's a request to all of you who has participated, please modify your resume as per the templates and as per the practice I have discussed in this workshop. Please do it. And please, whenever you're sending those resumes next time to anywhere, maybe to LPU or maybe to any other job portals, use such modified targeted resumes to be sent to. Otherwise, there is no effort. All your efforts will be zero if your resume is not targeted. Okay, we take a lot of effort. आप job portal पे जाते हैं, you read the job description, then you send the job description. If it is not selected, then it is a heartbreak also. Please always modify resume based on the job description you are reading and based on the techniques we have studied so far. We will share the sample resumes based on the data you have provided to us through attendance form and feedback form. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening and wonderful weekend. I'll share